treated him. Like how a woman treat us is how the nation of Israel treat the Lord, man. How a woman forsake us, that's how we forsook the Lord, man. All right. So it's put us in the spirit of repentance and reflection, you know?
Feel it.
Yeah, we feel it and understand the big picture.
That's why it was written that the sons of God must go through this part of knowing both good and evil. Because what truly makes you a coward is knowing both sides. And it was written from the beginning. The Lord had this whole thing figured out before it was even figured out. You know, you know. So we had to, as sons of God, to pull the current kingdom to come. We had to know the bad. We had to know how it feels to what evil and wickedness feels like.
Yeah.
Esau ruling, our enemies ruling over. This period is this base man that can barely got them, beat a swat a fly. He's over us. Wicked, decrepit, all into all types of weird, diabolical things. And we hear the sons of God. That's what the scripture say. I have seen servants upon horses. All right, and roughly paraphrased, the kings walking this
Servants. Yeah, princes walking their servants upon the earth.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Esau is that servant.
Yeah.
Esau is the servant that's on the horse, and the princes that are walking on the floor or walking on the ground by the servant and the horse are the Israelites. It's going to the northern and southern kingdoms. That's why you had that statue. I don't know what that statue was. I actually got the picture. I didn't bring it. The sign of that statue where you. Yeah, you got Theodore Roosevelt cute on the horse, and then you had a Judite man in slavery, and you had a Gadite man in slavery, and then they had they took that statue down, but that statue reflects biblical prophecy. That's why they took it down.
Yeah. I got it right here.
Yeah.
That the sign.
Yeah, Con. Yeah, Con. You can show that. Yeah, I printed it out. I didn't bring it though. You know what I'm saying?
You can see it. See it there. Yep. You got it, bro.
Con, bro. Go ahead and get that in Jeremiah. It's all about the breaches being closed. It's all about the northern and the southern kingdom, man. All right. Again, we have the 12 tribes, which is biblical prophecy for us to come back together in Babylon the Great in these latter days. Go ahead.
Now, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 11. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh hath redeemed Jacob."
Yeah, the redemption of Jacob is talking about the redemption of the elect. All right. And ultimately, through the elect being redeemed, all right, all of the nation of Israel will be put in authority. Go ahead.
It says, "And ransom him from the hand of him that was stronger than he."
Right. So it said the Lord is going to ransom Jacob from him that is stronger than him. Get Deuteronomy 28:68. Where it said, "No man will buy thee." But who will buy us? The Lord. All right. And how did he buy us? His son through the sacrifice. And ultimately he's gonna send his son. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships."
Again, we read in Revelation, the 11th chapter, America is said to be Egypt. Where it says that their body shall lay in the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. We know that to be America. All right. And this scripture right here, it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about America. Why is there a pyramid on your dollar bill? Why is there an obelisk in Washington, D.C.? Again, we asking the questions, not you. Go ahead.
It says, "By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again."
All right.
It says, "And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies."
It says we're going to be brought to Egypt on ships. This is the old faithful. But this is a big prophecy, man, of a signet of showing who the people of God are. So go ahead, finish that.
It says, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwomen and bond.
Read that again.
Like it, let me start over. It says, "Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Yeah, say no man's is gonna buy you, mean nobody's gonna redeem you out of captivity.
Yeah.
All right, but go back to that verse and read that verse and then get that word.
Yeah. Oh, if I might say, you have certain like Christian pastors, they'll try to, combat the doctrine that the Hebrew Israelites teach, saying, "Oh, that word redeemed, that just means nobody's gonna want to buy you as slaves. That's how low level you're gonna be." Okay. They basically try every excuse or reason to try to refute the true doctrine of the Lord.
When we came
Okay.
over here on cargo slave ships, we were bought.
Good.
No, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's called a lie. Go ahead.
To add to your point too,
Mhm.
real quick, because it's only one savior that's gonna save our people out of condition that we are. Because through the past history, what you had to Martin Garvey, all right, different, people that they idolize. Guess what? They want able to, deliver our people out of this condition.
That's why I said no man's gonna buy you, meaning no, there was not gonna be any leader set up or any group or entity that was set up that was going to justify or vindicate us as a people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
All right, this book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, and verse 11.
Yeah.
It says, "For the Lord Yahweh has redeemed Jacob."
So the Lord Yahweh has redeemed Jacob. So who's gonna vindicate us? Who's gonna redeem us? Yahweh Bashim Shai.
And ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he.
Who was stronger than Jacob? The Edomites, the other nations. They're stronger than Jacob. They're stronger than us. The self-proclaimed white man, he's NATO and the EU. They're stronger than us. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord Yahweh Shibal Shai, for wheat and for wine and for oil and for the young of the flock and of the herd."
Yeah, that's going into the land of milk and honey. All right. And it's also going into that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because the Lord is going to pursuant to what's that? Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, I believe the 31st verse, Hebrews 8 and 8. The new covenant where we're going to be revitalized, where we're going to be immortal.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to sin, we're going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have ultimate wisdom. All right. We're going to be completely charged up as a human being, the perfect essence of a human being.
Sorry.
Perfect essence of a man. That's what the Lord has set up for the Israelites. The man and woman. The perfect essence of a woman will be an Israelite woman in the kingdom. The perfect essence of a man will be the Israelite man in the kingdom of God.
Mhm.
Right?
Because if I can, on that word perfect means complete,
Exactly.
right? So right now we're in this flesh, which wickedness is sown in our flesh. So there's no way we can be complete or perfect in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahshua until he gives us those new bodies.
Right. And to land back on the officer's point, also meaning healthy.
Yeah.
And our health declines from what? Sin. So when we commit sin, that's what causes our health to decline.
Yep.
All right. Of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So
Mhm.
because of sin, it allows our health to decline. But if you don't sin, say I to your point, I got if you don't sin, then you'll always be healthy. And when we're in the kingdom of heaven, we're never gonna sin, so we're always gonna be healthy. Go ahead. Go ahead, officer.
Job chapter 15 and 14 says, "What is man that he should be clean? And he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous." Verse 15, it says, "Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yeah, the heavens are not clean in his sight." Verse 16, "How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water." Like you're saying,
Right.
if we continue to sin, how can we call ourselves clean or perfect?
Right.
Also too, him who's born of a woman, just automatically dirty.
Yep.
We were born into this life.
Yeah, right.
Now we have to work to shut it off or wash it off.
We're under the curse of Adam.
Yeah.
But through Yahweh Shai, we have redemption to be purified. That's what the baptism is about.
Hey, I got a precept.
Yeah. Precepts out.
Okay. Second Ezra chapter 4. 2nd Ezra 4 and 29. Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good, right? Because what's sown with good? Ultimately, the kingdom of heaven, right? The righteousness that is going to come with those perfect bodies, all right? But that which is pretty much evil, okay? Again, that would the place where evil is sown, that's here, Babylon the Great, chiefly, but really the whole world, like the scriptures say in I believe it's First John chapter 5, the whole world lieth in wickedness.
Yeah.
All right. So everything is tainted, man. Like the brother Kasha Father just read. Y'all got it.
To add to your point, and who's
Yeah,
responsible for this?
Just don't
Ultimately,
turn,
we take accountability.
I just keep it on the middle of the speaker. Speaker and the two readers. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimately, we take accountability.
Just
But
alone
who's
got the
really
handle like that.
responsible for the damn madness
a little-
that's wicked?
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay, we into all this crazy stuff these people doing on the islands and all this madness and this nastiness
That's good.
and this
Just keep it like that.
concrete. All right, and then these data centers and poison the water. We didn't do that. That's Esau. Esau, you gonna have to take some accountability for this. This is Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Start at verse 7.
All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of thy times?
Mhm.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau.
Mhm.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Right. Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of this age. Esau is the end of this rulership. Who is that talking about? That's talking about NATO and the EU. All right. You could throw the Russians in there, but it's really going into the B system. All right. NATO and the EU. All right. Go ahead.
It says, And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right. And Jacob, that's the house of David. Jacob is talking about the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. We're going to
Got the sign now.
Yeah, yeah. What are you gonna say now? Yeah. The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right, That's the successors of the Edomite rulership of the earth. All right, starting with the elect, which is the upper class, oligarchs of the nation.
Another precept. If y'all want to get Daniel 2 and 44.
Well, let's get
Back
that.
up what y'all talking about.
Oh yeah, let's get that. That's a good one. So Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, Esau. Who are the Edomites? Who's ruling the earth today? Right now, obviously the world's by the end. We got all type of hypersonic nuclear missiles pointing everywhere. You got data centers, poison lakes, and poison rivers. You look at the ocean. You got plastic islands bigger than Texas and France in the ocean. I think it's the end of the world. You see, so Esau is the end of the world. You got Iran and the small hats about to bring in the Jehoshaphat. This is obviously the end of the world. And who's in rulership right now? You look around, who's in rulership? Oh, the Edomites. Well, who is that? NATO and the EU.
Right. Because when Yahweh Shah come back, guess what? It's gonna be caught in your hands, nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now they got articles out talking about the waters running out.
Yeah, no, how about you stop doing data centers?
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. How about let's stop doing that?
Fucking ticks. Ticks become a problem.
How about stop introducing ticks to the environment? How about stop introducing mosquitoes into the environment? You stop doing that. But see, this is why we blame him. He's gonna be held accountable.
Hey, turtles got fucking AIDS and HIV.
Yeah, like why what's up with that? Then you had that Jake who did that. He was a scientist who did an experiment, or they did experiments showing that a lot of these chemicals that Esau is using and having us use, it had the frogs be sodomites.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. That's Esau.
And that's why the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, like we went over in class last week, how the preaching waiting for the manifestation of the sons of the living power, man.
Mhm.
Because it's not just the Lord's, man. You got creation going through it, man. You know?
Yeah.
That's why even in the book of Isaiah, it say that even the trees gonna rejoice when the Heavenly Father, your house shop can deserve us, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything is oppressed, man. You can't believe fucking preach.
All these damn oil spills. What about what you think of fish? You are overfishing the population of fish. That's not a good person. You a bad person. All right, all the filth that you just throwing in the ocean, you making all this bullshit clothes and people don't even wear it in the first world, and you go throw it in the third world countries, and it's all made out of polyester plastics, making everything toxic. That's Esau. Esau, that's you. Go ahead. Get that Daniel.
Oh, I got it.
Let me get it. Mm-hmm.
This book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 44. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed.
Ooh, start up. Let's get some meat off the bone. Why not? Go up like 2 verses. Like 42? Yeah.
This book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 42. It says, and as the toes of the feet
Oh yeah.
were part of iron and part of clay.
What's that talking about?
Yeah.
That's talking about NATO and the EU. Again, here we go. We keep talking about y'all Edomites. Y'all are the revival of the Roman Empire. You NATO and EU nations, you are the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. And you not like the ancient Roman Empire, you not just iron. You iron and miry clay. What does that mean? You guys are not in a confederacy as the ancient Romans were. A lot of you guys want to do your own thing. You had Brexit with the Brits. They're breaking apart. They got their own constitutions of their own countries that they want to put above the EU and NATO laws. So they not mixing together. Yeah, you got Nero talking shit to the Germans. All right, talking about D-Day. That was a bad day for you guys, wasn't it? What are we gonna say to the German chancellor? They ain't talking shit to the Japanese. Talking about, oh, you should have won Pearl Harbor.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that's
when
Everybody
Hero
was awkwardly laughing in the room. Like, "They just said that."
yeah. And now he's a demon. See,
he said something about in a joke about Pearl Harbor. He was like, you guys, if anybody, should know something about surprises. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yes.
What do you-
yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah, he
because
said-
they were asking him, why didn't you tell us we were gonna? Why didn't y'all, why didn't America tell Japan that they was gonna fuck up Iran? And he was like, why didn't you guys let us know about Pearl Harbor before?
He throwing it in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then that-
I can't believe, like, everybody was just like nervously laughing. Because
Yeah.
it was in the Oval Office with the Ammonite bitch. I guess she's like the new prime minister. And they all they could do was just chuckle and laugh.
Yeah. Well, why did you drop atomic bombs on them? You didn't have to do that. After the war was over. So what about that, Mr. Euro? Then you talking shit about the Germans. He like, oh, yeah, D-Day, that wasn't a good day for you, was it? You talking shit to the Germans. Germans supposed to be a part of NATO.
That's funny. Why I guess so. The Japanese person asked Trump that because I didn't see that.
So no, this was like maybe like 2 months ago when the prime minister of Japan, it's a new prime minister. Like, she's like it's a woman. I don't know if it's the first one, but she's like Ammonite. And it was in the White House, pandering to America.
Okay.
Yeah,
And there was a second shit like in the White House, blah blah blah. And then that question came up. Like, she was sitting next to him, to Trump, and one of the Japanese reporters asked him, like, "Hey, so like, why didn't you tell us that y'all were gonna invade Iran or blah blah blah, or not invade, but bomb them and stuff?" And he was like, "Well, we're not in the nature of telling our enemies, what we're gonna do beforehand. Why didn't you guys tell us about Pearl Harbor? That would have been nice to know."
Yeah.
Well, that's a legitimate question. From it was an Ammonite reporter, I guess. Actually,
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
That's a legitimate question because when you look at the war, the main thing was for moves. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I get all the bombings and stuff like that, but the main retaliation for Iran was the closure of the strait.
Yeah.
And 70% of Japan's oil comes from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
whole
Exactly.
stack of oil.
You
Exactly.
don't give a damn about
So
it.
they
Yeah.
had to ask, like, motherfucker,
Yeah, why'd you do it?
why the fuck did you do that?
But that's
That's all of our energy. Why did you do that? Without telling us.
Because Japan to America, you Japanese, you think that that's your ally. No, you are a conquered subject. All right, you are a colony of America, the beast that sitteth upon many waters, the whore that sitteth upon many waters. America's sitting on top of you, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
If I'll get it back. So why?
Oh, go ahead. No,
Because I want to say this too. It's even running in my mind. I'm just going to spit it out now. Because we're talking about the reemergence of the Roman Empire and stuff. But when you look at how the Roman Empire came about, there's a reason why Howard Shai came back during the Empire, not the Republic.
yeah, he didn't come to the Republic.
He didn't come back as the Republic. He came back during the Empire
Right.
because the Republic is ran by the people.
Yeah.
So when America was first established, it was ran by the people.
With the Republic.
It was a republic.
America.
It's heavily getting transformed into an empire right now.
Yeah.
Which an empire supports an emperor or a dictator, and we're seeing that right now. We're seeing draconian laws
Yeah.
and things of that nature, like you said, the data centers and shit being built. That's draconian measure.
Yeah, that's draconian.
This is the empire now, because
Yeah.
we're at the, like I said, it's the end. How do I know it's the end? Because America is no longer a republic
No,
like it used to be.
yeah, kind of.
It is now an empire because screw the Bill of Rights,
Yeah.
screw the Constitution now, because that's what's happening. They're
Yeah.
attacking Second Amendment, they're attacking Fourth Amendment, they're attacking your Fifth Amendment. They don't give a shit no more.
Yeah.
They're buying up all your land, putting these data centers. They don't care no more. They're not listening to what the people got to say. The people don't want to go to war with Iran.
Yep.
Guess what the emperor said? Double middle fingers. F you. I'm going anyway. And I want Greenland still. Forget about that. He's still trying to get Greenland. You know, you got it, bro.
That furthers the prophecy of iron and miry clay. Yep. It also goes and you have some weak nations, some strong nations, but also it's talking about they can't mix together because you got different disputes. Like Greenland and those are NATO. What was that? Those are what's the country that controls
I think Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
That's a NATO ally.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
That's an EU nation.
Yep.
So you over here doing your own thing against the EU nations, then now they sending troops to Greenland to fight you. That's iron and miry clay. That's not complete iron. All right, so that's biblical prophecy. Yep. Go ahead and Daniel.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 42. It says, and the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
Right.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Right.
And whereas thou sayest mixed iron, whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yeah, and they even tried to expand their infrastructure to other nations outside of the original NATO and EU nations. You got Turkey a part of NATO, you know, which Turkey organically isn't a part of NATO, you know, and also that's not going to work because what Turkey is going to turn on NATO and side with Russia according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. So mixing themselves with the seed of man and all that, that's not going to work. You know, these other nations trying to make conglomerates and confederacy with these other nations, with Japan, all these other nations, South Korea, is not going to work, you know? Go ahead.
Verse 44, it says, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom.
Right, so in the days of these kings, in the days of NATO and the EU, we're at the last leg of NATO and the EU infrastructure. So it says in the days of these kings, that's how we know it ain't gonna be, oh, here come the Chinese to rule for another 200 years. Here goes something, the Indians that, you know, ruling with sewer water for 200 years. You know, Vishnu swinging your neck, bro. No, we're not doing that. It said in the days of these kings, NATO and the EU, the Lord Yahweh is gonna set up his kingdom, which will be ruled by Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
Which shall never be destroyed.
Which will never be destroyed. So we know it's not talking about a heathen nation. This is talking about the kingdom of Israel. The kingdom of Israel consisting of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, the kingdom, the monarchy of David will never be destroyed.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, this water bottle. It's came to my mind.
that water I brought behind you, they got 250 anniversary of Slovakia,
Wow, yeah.
America. You know what I'm saying? On the on the water bottles and stuff, because they think that their kingdom is gonna last forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what was the statistic? The average
250.
time that an empire lasts. You know what I'm saying?
Years.
You know, but which by the way, when you look at it, the time was up. The time was up years ago, man.
Yeah.
Like basically this devil, he's on borrowed time right now, because when you go to second Ezra chapter 14, and the angel Uriel told Ezra, like, basically how much time was left. You break it down, is like 2,500 years. You know what I'm saying? Left from the time of Ezra, because Ezra was around 500 BC. You know what I mean? So, 2,000 years after Yahushua was on the scene, that was pretty much the end of it. Which, so we really, just like the extra credits, like how like you like you watch a Marvel movie, and then like they start rolling the credits, but then like before the real credits, they got like this little clip scene. That's what we had, like the last little, like basically the end of the movie is already over, but it just the tape gotta run out.
Well, that's why we're considered to be at the gates of the nobles. Yeah. Right now this is their last leg. That last little fortress that they done built up spiritually, that's where they at right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Right now we got them on the back foot. Yeah. You thinking just because we paying taxes and we enslaved? No, these people on the back foot in the spirit.
Yeah.
That's why it says the devil should come down upon you with great wrath. You feel like this is my last shot, my last hoorah. Open the gate one more time, and you're gonna lose. Yep. Go ahead.
So like this is the prophecy of Nathan.
Yeah.
The prophet Nathan, when he told he's telling King David, some of them took it as that was going to be King Solomon, but that's not what he was talking about. He's talking about the continuation of Yahushua's kingdom.
That's how you know King Solomon and David are the same people. You know what I'm saying? Talking about 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know Solomon and Yahushua are the same people. No, because that Yahushua, which really Yahushua fulfilled that. You know what I'm saying? Because Solomon came from the seed of David, and he was set upon his throne, but his kingdom ended. Solomon's kingdom ended. But Yahushua, which in essence it's all the same, because it's just a different carnation. Yeah. See, this is the stuff that people, they don't know what's going on. But it's actually important to understand biblical prophecy. Yahushua fulfilled that, because his kingdom will not fall. Go ahead. And Yahushua also was a descendant of David. By blood. Go ahead.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
Right, meaning you other heathens, you're not gonna have rulership. The heathens, you're gonna be told what to do, going to chattel slavery. Yes, all of that. Go watch Roots. Don't try to come up here. Oh, that ain't no. Watch Roots. It is fair. What? Yeah, Toby. Got his bitch ass whore calling him Toby. He'll be cutting his foot off. He'll be raping our woman. They'll rape the hell out of our woman, man. That's some bullshit, bro.
They cut his toes off.
Yeah, they cut his toe off.
They want to say, oh, you gotta forget about. Okay, fuck it. You want us to forget about? Let's go into the civil rights era. Some of y'all niggas are still alive. Oh yeah. That was participating in that stuff.
Yep.
I think the lady who still, you remember that picture of that black girl going to the school, and there's a little white girl in the background yelling at her. She's still alive.
They still walking around in the demon.
So you telling me that was just so long ago, right?
And then y'all ain't changed. Y'all Edomites still the same. You little 20-year-old, 15-year-old, 8-year-old, 30, 40-year-old Edomites, y'all still an evil human being. Yes. You still a terrible creature. Yeah. You acting like, oh, I ain't like my father. No, you are like your father.
I see this video on TikTok. It was the Jake. You know how you could be having Jakes that be hanging out with Edomites. So this is Jake. He was hanging out with a group of Edomites. He was, Jake can't swim. They was at the lake.
They were saying swim over monkey.
Yeah. And they was like, they wasn't saving. And they was like, man, You gotta swim. We gave you a light there. I'm like, bro, that shit's so easy.
It was like, you better swim, monkey.
Yeah.
Let's call him a monkey and shit.
Yeah.
That shit runs through. That's your pedigree, man. That runs through your blood, man.
Yeah, dinner tables. Edomite dinner tables are terrible.
Oh man.
What you think they? What you think they don't? You think they when they talk to their grandparents? What you think their grandparents got to tell them?
Yeah,
They fill them with a bunch of hate and pseudoscience and wickedness.
yeah.
Just telling them a bunch of lies, hyping them up.
Yep.
You know, you people are not superior. Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, indeed, we are superior to you. And then we don't say it by using some pseudoscience and running with that. No, we use biblical prophecy. We use the Bible. Genesis, the 25th chapter, Deuteronomy 7:6 says the Lord has set us to be above all people upon the face of the earth.
Yep.
And look, I mean, if you just look and see physically, our physique, our physical capabilities were superior to you.
Yeah.
Our mental capabilities were superior to you. Only because you broke our families up, putting drugs in our communities, you forward in rap music,
Yeah.
making our women whores. That's why we can't succeed in, from an educational perspective as a people. But base value, we're from a psychological perspective, we're superior to you, man.
And we still succeed on the educational thing too, because all the big major inventions were done by Jakes.
They were done by
And then-
Israelites.
and
They
then-
take the credit.
Exactly. Esau came back and went to the patent office and took the credit.
They took the credit.
Except the gun. The rifle, yeah, he got that.
Well, that shows his Esau.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give it to you. Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you're saying, even with the education, we don't learn under your type of learning system, your curriculum. We don't learn that way.
Yeah, bullshit.
Why does the Bible have a whole book of Psalms? Why does the Bible have a whole book of Chronicles and Kings and Samuel? Because we learn by story, we learn by music, and in our music and stories, it's mathematics, it's science. We learn by hands-on. I think there's like 3 different type of learning techniques, like visual, auditory, and like kinetic, I want to say.
Yeah.
And we learn in different type of ways. Then we don't operate sitting in a classroom listening to one person. That's how Esau learned.
Yeah,
Then you got
yeah.
man and woman learning in the same
Hey,
classroom. You over a teenagers, one of these girls with breasts and butt sitting by you. You can't even focus on the school.
What are them little black pants, yoga pants?
Yeah, girls walk around with yoga pants. You over in class. You over there talking about you a scholar. You can't even focus. It's a bunch of women all over the damn place. You're not supposed to have a bunch of women. You trying to learn some stuff. There's a bunch of women all over the place. Their bodies all showing.
Ain't doing no yoga.
Come on, man. Esau, you a confused person, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn demon.
Yeah, even how we acquire women when you read the scriptures versus now. Real talk, man. I'm gonna say it. We ain't really supposed to be spitting cane like that.
No, you're not supposed to be.
No, that's
Goddamn.
That's not how Israelites operate.
No,
Spitting
Riz.
cane.
Riz.
prison.
Oh, shit.
Spitting cane.
Yo.
All right. Spitting game is improvisation for us. We
Yeah,
have to improvise
we had to
that
improvise.
off of the fucking society that
Yeah.
we live in because Esau puts the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Now we got to spit game or Riz, like the brother said.
We supposed to just be giving these women. Like, we supposed to be able to make family deals with their fathers.
Yeah.
Bam,
Yeah.
this is my woman. All right, go to this other family. Bam, this is my woman. This is my cousin's woman. This is my son's woman. I get a woman for my son. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be you over here, some confused girl. You trying to, sauce her up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Fuck all that garbage, man.
Yeah, right. Why am I saucing up a help?
It's,
You-
it's all.
Women are a product
Yeah.
of shopping for products.
Yeah.
You buy products. Then when you buy a mop, you expect that motherfucker to clean the ground.
Yeah.
So like when you're searching for a woman, you expect her to add some qualities onto whatever you already have in the bank. Like you already got everything done. That's why I say I did a video like a month or so ago called "Bro, Man, Stay Single." I said, "Bro, stay
It's
single."
done. Real
It
talk.
was a 7-minute video,
That's real talk, though.
and in there I was just pretty much saying like, I'm not telling bros what to do or what to do. If you want to go get a woman, go get one. I'm not about to shun you or be like, see, I'm not, no, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But before you do that, make sure that woman is an asset, is something that's adding on to what you already have. You already know how to cook. You already know how to clean. You already know how to do this. So if it gets to a point to where she's acting out, you feel like, bitch, I really don't need you. Because everything that I had you doing, I've already done before. I know how to do it. I know how to wash and fold my clothes. I know how to pay my bills. I know how to go buy a car. I know how to get an apartment. I know how to buy a house. I know how to do everything. I'm just adding you on to it because maybe I want someone to cook for me or to clean for me.
Yeah,
Or let's be real. Or let's be real. Maybe you just want to just bust something down.
You burn. That's what the scripture says. If you burn, go marry. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of your incubator, really. You know, and some of y'all ain't even adequate incubators. Can't got a second guess putting a seed in a woman sometimes.
yeah.
Guess.
You scared to put a seed in this woman. You know that woman on a low level. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can't put my seed in her. These women are finished, man.
Well, guess what? And I've done it too. She got daddy.
Yeah,
You knew about that before you left it in.
yeah, man.
The cycle gonna repeat. I mean, don't get me wrong. They you know, they what's the name? They box is just as good, but the later after effects,
Yeah,
you're gonna catch extra
yeah.
unnecessary hell.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because maybe you just like settled for, you know what I mean, some subpar shit. Whereas you could just kind of either pray to the Lord. Hey, Jacob be praying to the Lord for a decent woman. Like, yeah, shit. I mean, if I'm really like, like down bad.
Just spit it out.
Like I remember when I came into the camp, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like a streak of years that I ain't had no box because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But then, eventually I made a prayer to the Lord, like, I'm shy, to get a woman, like not just a one-time deal. Like I want, pray to the Lord for a woman, you know what I'm saying? And he gave me one, you know what I'm saying? And it was a decent situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but you go through times where you don't have a woman and the Lord don't put the spirit on you to have one, or maybe you do want one in the flesh, but the Lord got you not having a woman because you don't need one at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all according to the spirit. Y'all got
That's real life edification.
Yeah.
It's all according to the spirit. All things are not profitable for all men. You might see one brother, he got two wives. They over there talking about, yes, sir. They don't. Okay, that's cool. That's good for him. But you don't know what else he got to go through. You don't know what he had to go. Well, you don't know his daily, the responsibilities of upkeeping the house of 2 or 3 wives. So that might be profitable for that brother. Some brothers, they can deal with like not having no woman, and that might not be you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you might need to you got to take everything the brother's saying through the spirit. And first and foremost, you need to be praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshua to guide you to make the right decision with this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it says that in Second Corinthians 10, dare not compare yourselves to one to another.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare, just acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge, like I said, see things in the spirit. Don't be covetous.
Yeah, right.
Why can't I have 2 women?
Yeah.
The Lord might be like, all right, man, since you got this little weird ass covetous spirit on you,
Oh, see.
I'm gonna give you 2 women and see how you see it. You gonna see, and you'll be like, fuck.
But then what about Isaiah 4:1?
The 4th chapter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whenever that comes around, you're gonna be turning women down, and the brothers don't have no women. They're gonna get them, and then they're gonna see y'all. Yeah, all right, I'm at capacity.
Yeah, we're fully employed. You know what I'm saying?
Or the women that might be giving brothers hell, sincere brothers hell, and your woman, you know what I mean, giving you hell about dealing with other women or whatever the case is. Them women gonna come up under the, under the protection, and the first wife, you gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
First wife gonna turn into the 4th wife is that their attitude.
Yeah.
You better come correct, man. Look, you women that are with men of the Lord right now, I get it, you emotional, but you know the truth, man. You know what the scriptures say. See, you got women, they'll believe everything else. Oh, yeah, that Quran, but then when it comes to look, but then when it comes to the fourth chapter, they just
This bitch in your face.
yeah.
No, hell.
You being partial in your judgment, man. See, the Lord, hey, you can't be partial.
Oh, that's not bringing out that scripture in what is that in Timothy? Bishop must have one wife.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? Like, Dr. Bishop?
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, at the same time that
That's
because you're gonna
advice.
be distracted.
That's
yeah.
that's
You're a
advice
leader.
too.
Yep.
That's advice too. Like
is.
it's not a sin for a bit. But then the fourth. What about the fourth chapter?
Right.
The fourth chapter not saying, oh, the bishop's not going. Ain't none of the bishops, none of the apostles. That don't apply. No, the fourth chapter is gonna apply to for who it applies to. But it's wisdom for a bishop to really have one wife, or really not even have a wife at all.
Yeah.
So you want to play that game? How about that, woman?
Why didn't have?
And really, we don't even need to have a wife at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So where would that leave y'all?
Facts.
See? Or where would that leave the other women that brothers might need to be with? Because guess what? They need if they're gonna be saved, they need a man of the Lord. But y'all being selfish, man.
Yeah.
Y'all being selfish. The Lord don't like you being covetous, man. That you don't own that man. All right, that man belongs to the Lord.
Yep. The Lord has said that in Sirach. Loosely paraphrasing. It says I forgot what chapter, whatever, but it tells us that a woman is not supposed to be jealous of another woman.
Oh, said the Lord hate that.
The Lord
He
hates
said 3 things I hate. The last thing he said, a woman that is jealous of another woman. Lord said he hate that. That hate is that's a strong word. So you got to think like as a woman, that's like us. We can't be jealous of another brother through the spirit because we're the Lord's woman. So how you think the Lord look at us? Are you over here looking at another brother? You jealous of this brother for whatever the Lord give him? The Lord hate that shit.
Yeah.
And same with you women. You woman that's doing that, you're not in the right spirit, man. You're not in the right spirit. You need to repent.
And again, I'm gonna say this. This is not fuck it, I ain't say that. Because it is manipulation. You know, it is manipulation. But you're being manipulated the correct way.
Yeah.
You know how much fucking easier life would be, say, if you had 2 women who made 60K a fucking year
And we're in order.
and this is a big fantasy we're talking.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna happen. It's an impossible.
It's a big fucking fantasy. Just caveat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Big caveat, but you gotta you get what the point I'm bringing.
Yeah.
You know how much easier life would be, 60, 70K a year, 2 women, just cooking, cleaning, shit.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a baby with one of them, and then the one's going through postpartum, but the other one's staying in her mind at the given moment. You know what I'm saying? But y'all women don't think like that. Right?
They don't.
It's so illogical. It's crazy.
They're not spiritual. But see, you go up into Nigeria, you go up in North Nigeria, they don't make a fraction of what we make. Like they financially they finish. But then up in North Nigeria, Jakes be having damn near all of them be having like 4 wives. All the wives got like 7, 8 children.
Yeah.
But they able to make it work.
Right.
But you can't make it work with all the victuals that you got in America and the benefits you got in America.
And then also that's a clear sign. You know the saying, it takes a village to raise a family.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
I used to work with I used to work in a sort of parking job like last year or whatever. I had to, leave that shit broke the fuck out of my foot. I'm like, fuck, man. But anyway, I worked with this African dude. He's like, yeah, man, I came to America. I don't fucking get it here.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do y'all leave and be on your own when you're 18? And he's like, back where I stay in Africa, we, our people, we come together, we'll buy one whole big building. And cousins, sisters, brothers, mothers, grandparents, all live in that one building. You may have your family and have your own space, your own room, but the next room over is maybe your cousins and your uncle and your brother.
Yep.
Or this, that. Oh shit, if I need to do something, I could give my kid to them. No problem.
No problem.
Nowadays,
Daycare.
no daycare. That's a village.
You buy a wholesale with food. So like with your rice, like when you go to the farmer's market, you see them heathens. They bring them damn carts.
Yes.
It be all type of rice.
Yep.
It be big ass bags of vegetables.
Yep.
Because that's what they be doing.
Yeah.
They live tribal. They live like a village.
Yes.
And with a community, you're able to save more money doing that.
Yes.
That individual stuff is like buying stuff store price. You moving, you living, and you moving in the spirit of store price instead of wholesale.
Northern Kingdom kind of do that a little bit to a certain extent.
Yeah.
They come together. They be the ones in the farmers market with the big ass
Yep.
grocery. I'm like, how the hell?
Them big shot people.
They have their own. They have their own grocery store, supermercados, carnicerias, panaderías.
That's where I go get my meats.
Yeah.
Could be cheap.
Butchers. They do.
Be cheap.
Yeah, it's even to the point too, like, cause I'm in the warehouse industry, so like working with around a lot of Latinos and Negroes, like the Latinos, they will come together literally and have a potluck every day at work just to eat lunch.
Yeah.
Like this person brought this plate, this person brought, and they just all just Jake got their own.
That's how you should. That's how you're supposed to move.
Yeah.
See, America, the love of many is wax cold. America, because it's more profitable for the American bankers and the currency to have y'all monkeys in apartments. This apartment, soon as the 18 apartment, break up family structure so we can put this man on child support. The state get a portion of that money. That man can never come up on a level, or difficult for that man to come on the level. He's not able to raise his children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep going. Bro.
He's not able to raise his children. That's another thing. You got places, like you said, the Latinos in parts of Africa, northern Nigeria, so on and so forth, and really in most places on the earth, outside of the Western world, you have a strong patriarchal power structure. So the father, the grandfather, they call shots. They have influence. In America, the father doesn't have any influence, man. These women don't respect their father. They don't respect their grandfather. A lot of people don't even have decent relationships with their fathers and their grandfathers.
And the Apostle Lamar had a whole lesson on that while back when he went into Sirach, the 3rd chapter. He says, if you have it, you need to make amends with your father, man.
Yeah.
All right, or just have respect, understand, because that's a big thing. The father is the spearhead of the entire family branch. If it wasn't for him, y'all need to go. What's that one song? I forgot it was who it was by. Old school song. You remember we listened to it? It was me, you, and Tamara at the reunion. I forgot who was by. The OJs, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
God.
It's the OJ
Family reunion.
family reunion.
Yeah.
So, like, at the end of the song, he was like, and the father, he gets to enjoy his fruit, but he pretty much started off with the father,
Yeah, I remember that.
started it all. So you got to make amends with your father. But like you're saying, these dudes over at these families over in Africa, and a lot of them be Jake.
Oh yeah, a lot of them be Jake, those Israelites, especially in West Africa.
Yeah, West Africa.
Yeah.
'Cause that's where we migrated when we go into your, history, read Babylon, Timbuktu.
Then here I used to BK go, oh, you Nigeria. Where the hell do you think these black people in America came from?
Oh, stupid.
That shit pissed me off, bro.
Bro, we were forced into the Western interiors of Africa
Yeah.
after 70 AD. Man.
Yeah.
It's just simple plain math, man.
Yeah.
All right. Why else would they have, like, we all know about a lot of people talk about the sub-Atlantic slave trade. You gotta talk about the sub-Saharan slave trade too, man.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the Sahara Desert's on the northern part of Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they came down and took Jake from the West Coast and took him across that desert.
Yeah.
That was just as brutal of a
The Hausa, they had them Hausa was in Nigeria. They had a lot of them in slavery in the sub-Saharan slave trade. Those are Jakes, man.
yeah, man. The Southern Kingdom went through it, man.
The Southern Kingdom went through it. It's not no small, it's a lot of people. Lord said that our seed should be as a sand of the sea.
Yep.
It's not just a couple million people in America and South America, man. All right. Like I said, in North Nigeria, it's normal for dudes to have 4 wives. Each wife have like 7, 8 children. You know how many people up in that place? And they've been doing that for years. So it's a lot of people out there.
It fucking works.
Yeah. I was gonna say Africa has the highest birth rate,
Yeah.
continent wise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you look at North America, I think South America is like It's number 2, but Africa has the highest, and then
Barbados,
and
and then Jamaica.
and
but a woman like that would be mad at you
Well-
if you had her in another.
listen, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Most women are man haters. I'm not even trying to be funny or like they hate men because basically there's a lot of grimy niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of grimy niggas out there that basically they implant their demons onto them on top of whatever childhood trauma they had. So, but guess what? That's the Lord. He didn't have mercy on a lot of these women. All right.
Yeah, that's
Put
the
them in
Lord.
fucked up situations to get
Lord.
jacked up. You know what I mean? Now, if they humble themselves and still, try to get on point with the Al shot, and he'll have mercy. But who gonna come on, man?
Yeah, how can you feel
Yeah,
something like that? At that point, you're dealing with a monster.
too far gone.
Yeah, it's like a tyrant.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, the law was the precept in the law.
Okay, it says the same thing, but
Whatever you got, whatever.
this is Sirach chapter 7 and verse 27. It says, honor thy father with thy whole heart,
See?
and forget not the sorrows of thy mother.
Right.
Okay. It says, remember that thou wast begotten of them, and how canst thou recompense them the things that they have done for thee?
Right. So you're supposed to honor your lineage,
Yeah, your father.
your father and your mother. That's a part of the 10 Commandments. Honor thy father and mother. But then you got these people say, excuse me, I believe in the Bible. Well, do you believe in honoring your father and your mother?
Yeah. How's your relationship with your pops?
You see, even if he,
Sorry, 7 and 27.
yeah, go ahead with your precept.
This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, the 3rd chapter, verse 6. It says, he that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. Verse 7, he that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Verse 8, honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them.
Right. Yeah. So ultimately, when you honor your father and your mother, the Lord will bless you. But a lot of these people, you be talking to certain of these women, and even Jake, man as well, they look down on their fathers. They look, the mother's an angel, but you look down on your father. Your father got hit with these curses, man. And some of your fathers are actually might be mildly decent people, but you being poisoned by the seed of your mother.
Yeah.
Your
You
mother
being
being toxic. Yeah, being manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being
She
manipulated.
hates men too.
She hate man.
A lot of women hate their children, but they will never say that. But they do it in their actions. They hate men. So like, let's say,
They'll sabotage their daughter.
yeah, or boy, I don't want you to grow up to be like your dad. That demonic shit.
Yeah.
And then of course the daughters, you know what I'm saying? Their daughters grow up to be whores just like them, getting pregnant in high school. You know what I mean? So yeah. So any single parent household basically is cooked.
That shit cooked. That's why America's so fucked up. Single parent household, that's some American shit.
Yeah.
You go travel overseas, you go to South America, you go into Eastern Europe and Western Europe, you go into Africa, you go into Asia, ain't no goddamn single mama, man. Ain't no woman that got a child with about multiple men. We had that statistic that somebody put in the chat. It said 60% of black women in America that have children have children by multiple men. That is insane.
That's horrible.
That is terrible. Go ahead, bro.
Now, I was gonna say a lot of that is orchestrated by Esau too.
Oh no,
Because
absolutely.
definitely during like the crack era,
Yeah,
it took so many fathers out the home,
yeah,
and we still seeing the effects today.
yeah. Jake never recovered from that. Jake never recovered from that. Because you're right. Because in the 60s, 50s, you didn't have women having children by multiple men, by black people. You know what I'm saying? That really that when drugs start coming in, the women's liberation in the 70s, and that the drugs, that crack cocaine and heroin, in that prison industrial system where he started pipelining black men into the prison. That flipped everything up.
Yeah, the black woman used to be in order
Yeah,
to some degree, more so than it was now. But it's like every decade it gets worse.
get worse.
You know, because like we be talking about, like me and you, Kasha, probably the good old days of like Facebook before like Instagram was really popping, like before DMs and shit.
Yeah,
You could actually slide. It wasn't no DMs on Instagram. You comment on a bitch post, you scroll down to the bottom so nobody see your comment. I know you did that shit before. Comment on a chick post, give her your number on the post before Instagram had DMs, and they'll fuck with you. They'll like I had a chick in high school. This is like over 10 years ago. I got her number through like I just DM'd her. You know what I'm saying? We chatting it up on over the summer. You know, but I got her number on Instagram, man. Good luck getting a bitch number on Instagram these days. All they gotta do, they dudes from the NBA is sliding in their DMs.
Yeah. I hate to quote this nigger rapper, but fucking Playboy Cardi, he was on a song with Future and Metro Boomin. And in the song, he said, "This bitch thinks she better than me. She on that IG model shit." And it's true, because all these bitches think they models now.
this is
Up in a time where models were either on America's Next Best Model,
Yeah,
whatever.
TV show or a magazine.
That one,
these hoes are pay $500 for a photo shoot.
in a verified check.
Yeah,
now
you pay for that. Yeah.
Not bad.
First thing the Lord allowed Esau to do is give Eve liberty to have a fucking phone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that phone is the money. And social media, Tinder, and all that, man. You know how much adultery goes on because of these different apps.
Yeah.
Man, if you didn't have these apps, the woman would just simply should be with her dude.
yeah.
For the most part, she couldn't be going out and about, you know, sneaky.
The end of genuine relationships ended in the 90s.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
You know, I'll get the early 2000s.
No.
You know, but after that, usually people that you see been with for 20 plus years met in the 90s or the early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
When you talking now, that's why we always bring that statistic up of divorce rate.
Yeah.
It was 50%. I think it's higher now. Come on,
man.
you know,
Terrible.
it's like it's just not worth it.
Yeah. I got precept.
Yeah, and then yours.
Okay, God.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 30. It says, "Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof."
Well, nothing belongs to you.
Yeah.
You know, and really a bit that curse right there really started with ourselves too. When you go, well, we kind of read it today in 1 Samuel 8. We wanted a king above us, and then he listed everything that king that the Lord will set up above Israel would do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Saul kind of did that. Not kind of, he did do that. Everything that was just mentioned in that curse, Saul ended up doing that.
And David and Solomon.
And yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know,
They ruled in righteousness, but they still, you know.
still
You got to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Solomon had to pay taxes to build a temple.
Yep.
And to fund other stuff.
That's why when Rehoboam, Solomon's son, you know, addressed the people after Solomon's death, he was like, "Oh my, what did he say about how his father was hard on him?"
My pinky would be bigger than my father's. I forgot.
Yeah. He was like basically like, "Okay, you thought my dad was hard on you. Well, I'm gonna be way harder on you than he was."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they was paying, you know, they had to pay their taxes. Yeah. They were still winning, but they still had to pay.
He was overtaxing Israel. And it broke up the monarchy. That was stupid.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even get the chance to do it. But the shit he said he was gonna do, he didn't get the chance to do it.
And then on top of that scripture also does tell you're not gonna own nothing.
Yeah.
You know, just like Esau says it, you're gonna own nothing if you have to.
Yeah.
You know, that's how he's conditioning the population. That's how he's conditioning the society.
Yep.
You know, this real curse is going on right now. You know.
Yep. That's how it is, though. You lease a car, or you graduate. First of all, you graduate college, you got 6 figures of debt.
Yep.
With interest every year annually. You lease a car, and you lease an apartment. So you literally own nothing already. As soon as you get your education, you know, and all that shit can be taken away from you, man.
Yep.
So
And the only thing
Yeah.
that will be left to you is to your name is your debt
yeah,
that you,
die.
that you have to pay back. And once you pay back all of it, you still have nothing to show for it.
Mhm.
Man, this is fucking slavery.
This is slavery.
Again.
College is a scam. boy.
That goes back to what the point of what the brother Yakov was saying. This is the end.
This is the end.
Some like that type of lifestyle lets you know it's the end.
Mm.
How does it let you know it's the end? Because if your spirit is genuine, you're yearning for it to stop. I'm tired of doing this shit.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired. Woo, of paying taxes, getting scammed,
Yeah.
all that shit. Shit, I gotta pay to file my taxes. What the
Yeah.
fucking shit is that?
Yeah,
You gotta pay to be a slave.
yeah,
Good.
It's not free to be a slave.
Yeah.
It's not free to be a slave. You gotta pay to be a slave. That's fucking wild work.
But if you're a slave owner, get benefits. No cap. For real. If you're a business owner, which is basically you have servants,
Sent right off.
you get well, it's tax deductions. You know what I mean? You have some type of like limited liability company or S corp or C corp. You know what I mean? You write off your income, business expenses, fucking gas. Oh, that's a business expense, and they'll, you know what I'm saying? This ain't financial advice. It's just how it works. It's called deductions, tax deduction. You're deducing the amount of income, reported or taxable income that you have because of the expenses of your business. So if you're just a W-2 employee, like no self-employed, no business at all, every single dollar you earn, you're getting taxed.
That's how Elon Musk became a trillionaire. Just recently. Just how we got any of this work. When he first came in, trying to start Tesla, of course he told him I don't want to get paid. I don't want to get paid directly. So you getting paid directly or salary. You getting paid directly was dope too, like 1099, whatever the fuck. Yeah. He says he didn't want to get paid like that. So they couldn't track his income, so it's not taxable.
Yeah.
Therefore, this dumbass got rich. Because
Yeah.
Elon Musk ain't what all he did was find a loophole, which in a sense is kind of
Good job.
a form of intelligence.
Good job.
You know what I'm saying? But all the SpaceX shit, all that, that's not his mind.
Yeah, all he did was get in. He got in early.
He
He
got
didn't start none of that shit.
He didn't. And what he did, he took out a big ass loan. Okay. So that loan ended up, it was nothing that was earned of his, so it can't be taxed on a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
And then with that loan, he could get his cars, his houses, whatever.
Yeah.
And then with his business, he could write that loan off. And then how he gets paid from Tesla and SpaceX is with
Stocks.
stocks.
Yeah.
He said, pay me in stocks. That's something that can't be
Yeah.
taxed.
So as the stock value goes up, basically your net worth goes up.
Your
So
net worth.
you can say, okay, I own 100 million worth of stocks.
Yep.
Give me a $2 million loan so I can get this house.
There you go.
See? And then you just acquire, you're just basically playing Monopoly, acquiring shit and riding the wave of appreciation.
And that's you're a trillionaire.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Fine.
But you gotta
Yeah, let me see. Let me continue reading here on Deuteronomy 28. All right. And verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Yeah, that happened at various different points of history. I know the screen's dark, so it don't get too hot, bro. That happened in various different parts of in history, man. We were taken away captivity, all right, made as servants unto other nations. Basically, labor is one of the most valuable things. Human labor
Capital.
is basically the most, if not one of the most valuable things.
It is.
They're trying to say data is the most valuable, but it really is human labor. All right, because what the hell are you gonna do with the data if you don't got no labor?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where they get the data from. They get the data from humans.
Done.
Humans are like the farm for the data. It's the crops.
Yep. So when Esau came over here and basically, or excuse me, brought us over here, came over here, it brought, you know, so-called Negroes over here for free labor, right? For what's that, 350 years, you know, 1600s. Yeah, you know what I mean? Up until the 1960s, you know what I mean? 1970s, you know, the 1620s, all the way up until so I meant to say 250 if I said 350. But yeah, basically during that time, man, he's been able to win. Okay. So he's not this high level dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you were saying with you know, people when you read Revelation 18, start at verse 9 and go down to verse 13, and it lists all the things that they wailed over when the bear comes being destroyed. What's the last thing it mentions? Souls of men. You always say best for last, right?
Yeah.
Because souls of men is what got you all the precious stone, this, that, and the third. You know, they really mourning off of that, the souls of men, the control over human, because the human race is superior.
Yeah.
You know, you're not bitching, moaning, griping, and complaining, even though it may hurt, like when your dog dies. It's, fuck, you know. But it's different when somebody, you know, a family member or something dies. That shit affects people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it fucks people up for life because humans are the dominant creature on the planet Earth. And then, of course, you dissect that and, you know, you divvy out you organize the most important humans on the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate
And Esau's not human because he has no hue to him.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, this is Judges 5 and 11.
So like that's why they call Esau a brute beast. You're equivalent to a beast, to an animal. That's how you're gonna be treated.
Oh.
All right.
His name is Esau, which means wasted in Hebrew. It means wasted away. But that's like a several fold meaning for Esau. But one of them is his actual pigmentation. He also goes into his empire. His empire is going to be wasted away with missiles. You know,
Wasted away his heat.
yeah, wasted away his heat.
This is Judges 5 and 11. It says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, which was that drawing water? Drawing water, that's human labor. Okay. Like if you're forced to draw water, you basically that's your job. Like you got to get this water out as well and take it to the place that I say to put it. You know,
Because without this modern piping infrastructure, water is an important commodity. So it has to be drawn at a high rate.
Yeah.
You know?
It says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers, which was those archers, the ICBM,
Yeah.
right? The ICBM missile. So that's talking about here in Babylon the Great, Khan, right? It says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. Water, bro. That's what we're doing right now. Coming out here, you know, reading these scriptures, breaking down the prophecies, right? It says, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Which that's really what it should be. It should be 1,000,000 camps in America. You know what I mean? In Babylon the Great. But I mean, you know, here, you know, we got brothers here, but compared to the amount of niggas that's in this city, this area downtown should be packed. You know what I mean? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, it's packed. But it's gonna be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be, you know, large groups of people asking questions. Like when Yahweh Shah was on the scene doing miracles, he had droves of people following. Remember, he fed the 3,000 people. He had droves of people following. You think every single one of those people was willing to believe unto the death? No. Remember during St. John the 6th chapter, he had a bunch of people listening to him, disciples. But then when they heard, okay, you got to eat my flesh and drink my blood, they're like, nah, it's this too hard.
What
Fuck
he
that. You know what I mean, bro? Tripping, right? And then they walked off. So everybody that comes out, they may not be a believer, but even so, even still, it's still our duty. Okay, whether they hear or forbear, it's still our duty, man.
Yeah, Matthew 2:14. God. Back here. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Matthew chapter 22, verse 14. It said that for many are called, but few are chosen.
Right. So during the time, all right, during the time of Yahweh Shai, many were called. You had those multitudes following him, listening to him, feeding those multitudes. Many of those people were called, but few are chosen. And this same, even right now, many people are called. You know, a lot of times you don't see the people because a lot of people are being called via the internet right now. You know, so they'll see people are watching and getting this calling at the comfort of a phone or a computer. All right, and you'll have people like the brother said. You're gonna have multitudes of people coming to try to hear what we're saying. That time will come. Many are called, but few are chosen. Only the elect are gonna be chosen. That's pursuant to what we got in. What was that? Ezekiel.
Oh, going Ezekiel 11 and 16.
This was it.
I got
Oh, that's spirit.
yeah, you got it.
Go ahead. Man.
This is Ezekiel 11 and 16.
Yeah.
Therefore say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen.
That's what we are right now. What did the Lord do? He cast us off far among the heathen. So now we all the way over here in America, among the heathen. Look at this bunch of heathens coming by, like the different heathens. These are East Indians,
Yeah.
the Edomites.
Yeah.
All right, these are heathens. The
Black
Lord-
women.
Yeah, yeah, cast us.
Yeah,
Was scattered among the black women. Go ahead. Which through the spirit, the black woman is a heathen, you know, because she doesn't follow the customs of of the law. And I mean, these wicked niggas, they heathens too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just the black. These fucking black man's a goddamn heathen. The Hispanic man is a heathen, man. Absolutely. You know, that's why the term heathen means country dweller. It's one who's outside the temple. They're profane.
Yeah.
You know, they live a profane life.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
Ezekiel 11 and 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary.
Right, and this is the little sanctuary, right here. This in itself, the plank, is pursuing the Ezekiel the 37th chapter. This is the altar. You know, a little sanctuary. The Lord's not dealing with the multitude of people. He's not dealing with universal religions. He's not dealing with the modern Christianity. He's not dealing with Islam. He's not dealing with Catholicism. He's not dealing with Hinduism. All right, he's dealing with a little sanctuary. He's not dealing with a big group of Israelites. The popular Israelite group. He's not dealing with that, man. The trendy Israelite group. Every time somebody think of Israel, they think of those guys. The Lord not dealing with that. He's dealing with a little sanctuary. You know?
Oh, to back you up,
Uh-huh.
Judges with Gideon.
Yeah, we can.
What was that? The 6th chapter? You know what I mean? It was a bunch of Jakes.
Oh,
You know what I mean? A gang of Jakes, and most of them wasn't right.
Right.
So the Lord said, "Nah, to hell with that."
Gideon,
When they went to war.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gideon, what he had 300, right?
Yeah, and the Lord whittled it down to 300. You know what I'm saying?
Abram, he worked with 316 men, I think,
Yeah.
when he went to go take over the king who
The kings of the
I think
east.
it was 5 kings, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was five. It was
I-
five
I don't
kings.
know.
It was the
yeah,
kings of
you're right,
Elam.
You're right. He
And-
went and
and Sodom. One of them was like the king of Sodom.
It was the king of Elam. They came and tried to conquer Canaan and Egypt. And he was allied with the kings of Mesopotamia. And they came over and fought in Canaan. And go ahead.
Abram had 300 men to
Yeah.
the Lord always. It's about quality.
Oh yeah. Who was it? Jonathan and his armor bearer.
Jonathan and Jonathan.
They went up
Yeah.
just them two. They slew. I can't remember how many it was. It was a group of
Philistines.
Yep.
group of Philistines, man.
They talk about that in David's Mighty Men. You got one man that slew 800 with one thrust of the spear. So it's like that.
The spiritual powers.
You got a scripture where it say 5 of you shall chase 1,000.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, kind of.
That's the little sanctuary. Again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, the Lord's army, an exceeding great army, you know, which the time will come. The Lord just not gonna have us just prophesying all day. When Esau is trying to microchip us and he's trying to murder us, he's gonna have to answer some questions. We're gonna have to have a different conversation. You know?
And like you said, an exceeding great. Great is just an adjective describing something.
Yeah.
That small sanctuary is exceedingly great.
Yeah, magnificent, powerful, influential.
Exactly.
Like Babylon the Great. You know, Babylon is great because how powerful, how important it is. Alexander the Great. It doesn't mean a good person. You know, it's talking about he was magnificent.
Yeah.
He was influential, influential, powerful,
Larger than life.
larger than life. Yeah, larger than life. Go ahead.
Oh, I got another precept.
Go ahead. Bro.
This is Isaiah 19 and 19. And that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Oh, again, Egypt. We were just talking about Egypt, Deuteronomy 28 chapter, the 68th verse. We're just talking about Egypt in Revelations, the 11th chapter, the 7th, 8th, and 9th verse. Right? Same Egypt. It's not talking about ancient Egypt over there in Northeast Africa. It's talking about America. Yeah, son.
You reading Isaiah 19:19?
Yeah.
The same one I had. That's spirit.
See? Yeah. That's the little sanctuary. You know, good communication, short distance. Go ahead.
Isaiah 19 and 19. And that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt.
This is the altar. You're looking at the priest, and this is the altar. The 12 tribe sign is a plank. It's a signet. We're giving spiritual sacrifice. We don't have turtle doves. We don't have lambs. We don't have he goats. We don't have calves to sacrifice. On this altar, we're sacrificing ourselves. We're sacrificing the image, our image of this society, because we were made to be fools for Messiah's sake. Go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead and finish that. Then yes, like go ahead.
And a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord.
Right.
And it shall be for a sign.
And the pillar is talking about the tabernacle of David. That's talking about David. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah 19 and 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt.
Right. This is for a sign and a witness, a testimony. What are we doing? We're professing the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's what we're doing. We're professing what is the testimony of Yahweh Shai? The spirit of prophecy. We're going into prophecy. See, the Christian church, they're not going, oh, Egypt and America, and then see, there go the altar, and that's the pillar. They're not doing that. They is dancing and singing. They sing pretty good, but that's not the spirit of prophecy. That's not the spirit of prophecy. Playing drum, talented, they're really good at that. But it's not that's not the drum playing. Is not the spirit of prophecy.
That's not the new song.
That's not the new song. That's not the new song. Is the spirit of prophecy. All right, go ahead.
For they shall cry unto the Lord because of their oppressors.
Because of their oppressors. Christian church, who are the oppressors? Who are the oppressors, Mr. Pastor? He's not gonna say the government. He ain't gonna say the white man.
Because the government and the white man paying him.
Yeah, them contract 501c3.
Christian. Oh, love that.
Oh, no.
I was Christian, so-called, really the anti-Messiah Christians.
Right.
They are the oppressors.
Right.
Because during the 13th and 14th century, with those paper bulls that was issued out to basically give permission to kill anybody that doesn't worship Chezi B, this demon right here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That part of history. What about the effects of that? That's the reason why you have churches from Argentina and Chile all the way up to Canada.
Yeah.
All right, because and by the way, they got shrines. They got shrines to Tammuz, or I'm sorry, Semiramis, okay, aka quote unquote Virgin Mary, but she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah, go walk into a Hispanic's house,
Yeah,
All type of idols.
bro. To this day, bro. To this day, my grandfather has a fucking like 6 foot tall
That's correct.
shrine in the in
That's
the room. Like
God.
maybe the statue might be like 3 or 4 feet, but it's like elevated.
Imagine going to get a drink of water at night. Oh, what
Bro,
the fuck,
bro.
Like,
And then check me out. You know the rosaries? I know, like with the beads and shit.
Yeah.
He got a big ass rose. I'm talking about like each one is like this big, each little dot, and he be praying on that fucking in front of that motherfucker, bro. And he's, I mean, I don't know if he's Gad or whatever, but he ain't Hispanic. So all the tribes is on that. They drunk off that Jesus juice.
well, even so, like you said, Gad for the Northern Kingdom was a kind of representation of the Levites.
Mm,
Gad was the
medicine.
the priestly.
Yeah, shamans. Shaman meaning oil in the Hebrew.
Mm.
They
They
were
were priests.
they were the priestly tribe of the Northern Kingdom, just like Levi. Pretty much Levi's everybody, but
Yeah.
Gad was that next. Because when you go and study Gad, they were like the most spiritual out of the Northern Kingdom.
Yeah.
You know, they would be the ones when they do the little dances, they would be saying Yahweh and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, fuck that.
Nah. Well, they're like the scriptures say, they have what is it? Zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't count because guess what? The information is out there.
Facts. Yeah.
It'd be different, like, cause what is scripture? I think Peter said that, that the Lord winked at our iniquities prior to the information going out, but now there's no excuse.
Yeah, the Lord winked at it, but now it's no excuse. Like, shoot,
Cloak.
during the time, just to land back on that brother's point, if we were going into that, because you guys really aren't real Christians. Nah.
Yeah.
They got
You know, the real Christians were the ones who
Stand
were
right here.
right, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And people haven't been serving as Christians the way we're serving since 150 AD, since 200 AD. Because really, when 300 AD came about and the Christian persecution, it broke up the Christian persecution of the Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, and the Western Roman Empire. And when Constantine, when he manipulated Christianity in the Council of Nicaea to make it a state religion, that corrupted. That's what you have. What you have today as Christianity is the remnant of 1300, 1400 iconoclasm, white supremacy, and Constantinian, the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah.
That's what you have today, and that's what you call Christianity today.
Exactly.
But 150 AD, 100 AD, 200 AD, that wasn't Christianity, man.
Yeah.
You know,
But they were speaking Hebrew back then.
right? That's right.
Because I was about to say, like, it's the same. Because you said Hebrew, I was about to say something about language. Like, I was saying everything that you just mentioned, the Council of Nicaea, everything of that nature. It was all a conglomeration of ideologies and thoughts, just like the English languages. So what you're seeing today is a bastardized religion.
It's a bastardized.
Just like the English language is bastardized. It's just a conglomeration of a bunch of fucking French, Spanish,
Yeah.
Latin,
Yeah.
and it all mixed in. You know what English is?
German.
How Despicable Me characters talk.
Yeah.
That's what English is. You know? Real shit. You don't know what the fuck they're saying, and it's hard to goddamn learn. That's what English is,
Well-
and that's what Christianity today is.
That's what. Yeah. Yep.
Because it's just what you think is Christianity really ain't.
No.
You know, what's the
Yeah.
water brother?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, but English wouldn't allow me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame the white man.
And then another thing they did with Christianity, they with Constantine, they took the scriptures and they forwarded the primary language for the scriptures to be studied in was Latin.
Yeah.
Which is before it's originally supposed to be Hebrew.
Well, Hebrew.
But then it became Greek because you had Israelites who were Hellenized and they didn't know Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? But Constantine forced it to be Latin.
Yeah, like
You know, and that's where you get the Isa from. That's why you see Well, I'm saying like with the Muslims, they'll call him like Isa because they getting it from the Latin. Right?
Yeah.
They getting it from the Latin and the Greek. You know what I'm saying? Which that was really forwarded by that really was dealing with the Council of Nicaea. You know what I'm saying? So the name of the Lord kind of got scratched out. Yeah. That's why these major religions, they'll call them Jesus, they'll call them Isa, they call them Jesus. They don't call them Yahweh because they corrupted the word. They corrupted the scriptures.
Yeah, this is the correct pronunciation. You got it, bro.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just looking at the sign. My first time seeing this one. Yeah, Howard. But see, the thing is, people say this ebonics and stuff like that. This is all like people try to make fun of the pronunciation, right? But what's on the side? Okay,
The F.
you don't get the Assyrian on here, huh?
Nah.
But when you go to like how they have like in modern Hebrew over there, yeah, they got vowel points, cancellation mark, dagesh forte, dagesh,
Yeah.
all these different fucking lines underneath and in between the letters. Not this is the obviously the paleo, but I'm talking about the Assyrian text. You know what I mean? They got all the different okay, Khan, yeah, you can show the camera the bottom part of that page. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, no, that's fine. The
Which
final
is
con, the final
I'm talking
mark.
about those vowels.
But I'm talking about the dots. Yeah, the
I'm
dots.
talking about from Yiddish.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to make because, but the thing is, they made that shit up. The Masoretes, they made that shit up.
Yeah.
They basically said, "Oh, this is how we heard it." So, in order to preserve how it was heard, we making these new dots and lines that are gonna resemble the modern day U sound and the E sound.
You know what it is? Pig Latin.
Yeah, yeah.
Pig Latin. All Pig Latin is English backwards. So if you're saying the word name, you're saying Iman. That's what Pig Latin is, and that's exactly what these
Small hats.
Yeah,
small hat island
Yeah.
hat wears.
yeah.
The
Tiny caps.
tiny hat, hook nose,
Yeah,
curlicues.
yeah.
That's what they do.
That's not Hebrew. What they're talking is not
Yiddish.
Hebrew.
It's Yiddish.
It is
And-
Hebrew Pig Latin.
Yeah. Because when you go into what's that manuscript that they found over there? The manuscripts of ancient paleo. It was like
With Los Lunas.
no, not over here in the States. I'm talking about over there in the Middle East. Damn, I can't remember. They found it like recently, like the past 100 years. But anyway, you
Kind of like hydroglip type shit.
no, like it was just like the scrolls, but the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah,
That's when you look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, ain't no vowel points, cancellation marks, none of that bullshit on there. It's straight Hebrew. So how can you tell us? My point of saying all that, how can you tell us that this is the wrong pronunciation when you have no proof of how you pronounce it is right?
Yeah, you don't know. No, we're the authority. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We have this through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shai.
Kind.
All right. You people don't know what you're talking about. We've studied to show ourselves approved for this thing, and at the end of the day, we have this through the spirit.
Exactly. That's it.
You guys have it through. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna put some vowel in positions and stuff.
Yeah.
No, you guys don't have it.
These niggas still believing in the shroud of Turin, thinking that's the same veil that they covered Yahushua with, the shroud of Turin. Y'all heard? Y'all ain't never heard that? Yeah. And that was like a big. That was like yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? You had all these fucking Christians coming to wherever it was put up at, praying to it and shit. You know what I mean? Bugging out. So y'all don't got it, man.
Yeah, we can go ahead and we can wrap it up.
All right, this is 2 Peter, all right, chapter I'm sorry, 1 Peter, Slakia. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy."
It's our everyday walk. We bear this cross, we bear this altar, we bear this plank wherever we go. So our conduct, wherever we go, is supposed to be a spiritual sacrifice towards the Lord. So that's ambassadors of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahushua Mashiach. So that replaces the animal sacrifices that we used to have to do in order to atone for our sins. Right. All right, because the animal didn't do shit wrong. The animal wasn't an adulterer or a murderer. All right.
Jake was misusing the sacrifice.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I was just sacrificing." No,
He was
what
the
about
adultery.
you did something wrong? The point is
Preemptive
you doing something
sacrifice.
wrong. You need to stop doing that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But Yahushai, obviously we know he's the only. See, that's the thing. People don't. You got to connect the dots. People are like, well, what made him so different, bro? That's the only begotten Son of the Most High.
Come on, man.
So he's above everybody else, and he died for something that's lower than him.
Yeah,
So
just for the unjust.
that's worth more than an infinity amount, man.
And he was resurrected on the third day, which makes him the greatest to ever do it.
Con.
You know,
Yeah, con. Well, he was the first to be like. There's other people that was resurrected, like we know.
Enoch.
No. That's translation.
Yeah,
I'm talking about resurrected from the
okay,
dead.
yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, the water. Lazarus, he was resurrected, but the Lord, the Spirit of the Most High resurrected him. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah,
he did it for the sake of the sins of the nation. Real quick, before we close, Isaiah the 53rd chapter. Since you made that point, Isaiah chapter 53, verse 53. Yeah, what was Isaiah? Whoever got it, let me see.
I got it right here.
All right, yeah, Isaiah 53, and go to verse 4. Okay, and then we can read down probably like 5 of them.
This is Isaiah 53 and 4. It says, surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows.
He bore our griefs. He carried our sorrows on the cross. Lazarus didn't carry our sorrows on the cross. Nobody else carried the sins of the nation of Israel. That was only Yahushua. So in John the 3rd chapter, 16th verse. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
It says, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted.
Mhm.
Verse 5, but he was wounded for our transgression.
That's the crucifixion of Yahushua, the Messiah. He was, keyword, he was wounded for our transgressions. No other man died or was wounded for the transgressions of the whole nation.
Or because nobody was eligible for that.
Nobody was eligible for that.
Yeah. Because everybody else went off during their life.
Right.
So that's why when Revelation, the 5th chapter, I believe it's chapter 5, John Revelator was asking. He was like, damn, I can't find, he was like, sorry, because he couldn't, nobody was even worthy. And it was like, oh, Yahushua,
Lamb.
the lamb, who's slain. You know what I mean? He was a lamb because why? Lambs, they're guilty, they're innocent.
And he was a lamb without blemish. He was pure.
Yeah, cool one.
Yeah.
Hebrews chapter 7 and 27. It says, who needeth not daily as those high priests to offer up sacrifice first for his own sins. And then, because we needed him for our sins.
Yeah.
He didn't need anybody else to cover his.
Yeah.
So it says that's another big difference.
Yeah.
And it says for his own sins and then for the people's sins. For this he did once when he offered up himself. Going back to Isaiah 53 and 5, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed.
Right. So we're able to be healed. No other man sacrifice was able to make the nation of Israel be healed. We're able to be healed through his sacrifice and through his resurrection. So that's what makes him a big deal. That's what makes him the big guy. That's why he's so important. Everybody try to short stick it. Yeah, he's the chief cornerstone. He's that important. And at the end of the day, if you don't believe, listen, you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. I promise you're gonna die.
Yeah.
All right. Only the elect gonna believe anyway.
That's right. Yeah, you're gonna die because you don't have the blood sprinkled on you through your lack of belief. So
Right.
Go ahead, close it out.
That's right. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving our praises, honor, glory, and worship unto double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, I can shalom, keep the faith. Blood on the doorpost.
Yes, sir.
Stop.